Or like I said in that last class, somebody's raising up hand. Promise, you're raising up your hand. All right, maybe you don't want to talk. Fine. Like I said in that last class, I said today we are rounding up HTML CSS. Possibly we will come back next class, which is on Friday. We'll just start JavaScript because we have to start that particular module on time because it's very broad. So we said that what we will also look at in HTML CSS, so we'll just code generally using the HTML syntax, like things like creating a form, creating a table, how to get a drop down and various things. So the code we will be writing right now is not actually a project base. It's just showing you some of the terminologies of HTML that we did not actually look at in the course of our YouTube pod clone, so that you add it to wherever you have learned. Is that okay?
Yes, sir. So I'm not seeing your screen.
Yes, I'm about to share my screen now.
Excuse me.
Sharing.
I have a question about a website I was working on the side.
Okay.
Uh, Let me share it to you.
Please, can you hold on? Let's finish our class first. So I will not
Okay.
use time to be attending to your work. So what you guys are going to do for me right now, just create a random file, an HTML file. Just call it, let's just say, practice order tag. Call it order tag dot html. Order tag dot html. So HTML5 will also give you your boilerplate. Then you click on this. So what I'm having here, I'm going to be having all that tab. Please hope you can see my screen. Oh, order tag. Okay, so please can you see my screen?
Yeah,
So let's get our H1. So let's just say order HTML tags. So I want it to appear at the center. So to pass underline is called text decoration. Okay, so the first thing we want to look at is the form element. Basically, the form element is actually where you get your fillable form. For those of you that will be going for backend after your front end, you basically be working on forms a lot because anything you are submitting to your backend should be coming from a form that the client or your user is going to fill. So one of the attributes that come with the form element is the action attribute. All right. What the action attribute does is to tell you where the form is going to when this form is being submitted. For example, if I say action, I pass in youtube.html here. Assuming I have a button inside this form, I say this is my button. Then this button I said click, or let's say I said send. So immediately this button is click. All right, this form will unload and is going toward the youtube.html. That is the function of what the action attributes inside the inside the form. All right, but that's not what I want to make use of right now. What I actually want to make use of right now, I want us to create a div, a container. All right, so inside this container we want to get the different thing that we want to pass inside this container, like your label. Let's say this label should carry name. This label should be for name. Label is just like your paragraph element, but the difference between the label and the paragraph element is this one is just a label of what something is carrying fillable form. For example, now what I will use to make this thing to fill something, we have to use the input element. So the input element has the type of text. All right, basically they have the type of of text by default. All right, we also have other attributes that go with it, like your placeholder, which shows what you want to type. All right, we use that placeholder in our YouTube clone when we are dealing with the header region. Okay, so I will not waste too much time on that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a div that this thing will be wrapped. All right, I'm just showing you guys how to create a form so that I'll pass this in inside a div. I'll pass inside a div. So this div, I'll duplicate this div. Let's say I want to get for email, for password, for what do you call it now, for dates, for
Security code.
for dates, for file. I also want to get for radio button, and for check button. So I'll just be changing this here. So this is going to be for email. Now the reason why I'm bringing this is because the input also have a type of a type of email. So we normally use this one to just do some kind of a validation, just some light validation before a form is being submitted to the backend. Then we also have this one. I said I want to use to collect password. So this is password. So the input elements also have a type of password. This is, it will not show the password for the user to know what he or she is typing. That's the essence of it. All right, that's the essence of the input type of whatever I'm typing here will come like a bullet. Then the next thing that I said I want to show you, the file upload. For you to be able to upload a file, or let's say date first. Date. Let's say the input type also have a type of date. That's a type of date. You can see when I click on this now, I can pick any dates I want to pick and it will be displayed here. So that's coming from the input type. Another thing I said I want to check is a file. Let's say I want to upload something like a PDF document. I want to upload a Microsoft document. I want to upload a passport, or I want to upload a scanned document. The input type has a type of file. So it is the duty of file to do that. Are you seeing? When I pass in file here, immediately I click on choose file, it will go to my system. So I can check this one, I can pick this one and click on what open. You can see that this is a file here. So the essence of this is for backend. Okay, is for backend. Then the other one I said I want to look at is the input type of check. So this type, you can just pass in a value of checked here. So when you pass in a value of check like this, it means that it's allowing you to what, to click input type of what, of check box. I think that's the latest name they call it. Check what box. Yep, that's the name they call it. So you can see that you can check something. Probably you have a list of item and you want them to pick one out of the list of item. You use your input type of what, check. So if I still inside this particular div, if I repeat this code, I say this one is for let's say for biro. This is for biro. Let's say this is for orange. For orange. All right. So it allow you to, you can check this. If you check this, it will go to the back end. If you uncheck this, then you check this, biro will go to the what, to the back end. Now the question now is, this is not actually making sense, right? That's why you need your CSS to what, to make it to actually make sense. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use inline styling here. So I'm not using anything like internal or external styling. I'm just using inline styling. All right, Shadi. I'm just using inline styling. So the first thing I'm going to pass here, because if you look at what's going on here, everything is inside the what, everything is inside one particular what, container called what, div, but the form is what, is separate. Then this one is outside the what, the container. Okay, so what I will do here now is this. For me to style this, I'll call my style property. So I will set the display of this to be what, to be grid. All right, I'll set the display of this to be grid. So basically now this thing is in form of what, of grid. But why is this guy now big? This, okay, is outside the what, the div. So if it's showing like this, it means something is what, something is all right somewhere. So I'm going to style this. I'll just reduce the width. Let's say the width, let me just use width to handle this. Button don't have width property, so style width. So I'm going to give it a width of, let's say, 200 pixels. All right, so that it will, 200 is too much. Let me just say 100 pixels. So this is better for me. But what I want to do now, I want to get an alignment for these items that I have here. So I've turned it to a div. Remember we said the next thing, when you have turned something to a div, you called your grid template what, your grid template column. So that's the next thing you call. These are the syntax. You call your grid template what, columns. So how many columns do I want this thing to carry? Let's say I want it to be 200 word pixels. So basically you can see that it's coming in a form of one word column. The name is on top. If you maximize it, you can see that the name is on top. My email is on top. I enter, my password is on top. I pick this, I pick that, stuff like that. That's one. That's one method. What if I want this item to appear? What's this? I click on it. What if I want this item to appear at the center of my page? So the only thing I would just come and do here is to, since this is already a grid now, I can just call test align. Test align should work for me since this is a grid. Test align, I'll just pass in center here. So all the items are going to the what, to the center. Okay, so I want to move all of this stuff to appear at the center. That's actually my aim. Okay, so let's see what justify content will do for me here. Justify content, let's call what, center. So you can see that when I called my justify content, I pass in center. What's going on here? When I call my justify content and I pass in center, the items is appearing at the center. Even when you maximize this browser, you can see it's appearing outwards at the center of your page. So I want to do some other formatting so that the font will make sense before we move to table concept. Now the next thing we also look at is it will be very stressful for you to be giving internal styling for all of this. So the best thing for you to do, like what Promise asks, Promise say what's the difference between ID and class. So I'm going to use ID for this particular work so that you get to understand what ID is all about. So let's also, I want to have a space between this my item. I will just call row gap because presently there's no space inside. I'll call row gap. Let's say row gap, I gave it 20 what pixels. You can see that the items are spaced between themselves, but 20 pixels is too much. uh, Let me use it like this, which is also okay. So now, haven't gotten this. Now let's say I want to style this my text that I have here. This is my input element of text of this. Instead of me to be passing code everywhere, I'll just give it an ID. So I'll give this place an ID. This input, I'll give it an ID. Let's say I'll give it an ID of uh, txt. I gave it an ID of txt. So for me not to be repeating myself everywhere, I'll copy this particular ID. I'll paste it here. I'll paste it here. This is password. I'll also paste it towards. I'll also paste it here. I'll paste it. This is I have name twice. It means that this thing is not supposed to be there. So I think I'm okay with that. So what I want to do presently now is for me to be coding again and again for all of them. I'll just use this particular ID of text. I'll go to my header region. Can put a style here. So remember, promise, I said if it is ID, you put what hashtag, right? So I'll call the hashtag.
Yeah.
I'll call the hashtag here. Where is my hashtag on my system? Yeah, I'll call the hashtag. Then I'll now call the ID name. The ID name is what? TS what? TST. Then I can do my style. The first thing I want to do now is the border words, the border radius. I'll set the border radius to be like 20 pixels. Let me see what that will give me. I set the border radius to be 20 pixels. Is there any observation here? Yup. So the border radius is now 20 what pixels. Then I can set the height of that of those texts. I set my height to be 20 pixels. Okay. uh Not bad, not bad. Then you can see this having a border. I can set the border to be what? To be none. If I set the border to be none, see what I'm going to have. There's nothing there, right? So it's not good for you to set your border to be what? To be none, because it will not show anything. So I'm going to call border what? Border style. I will reduce it. Remember I said if you want to reduce the strength of your border style, you first of all need to call your border style. You pass in a solid there. So the line is now solid. Then you can now call your border what? The border width. The border width. I'm giving it 1 pixels. Then I can now call my border words. You can see 1 pixels reduce the strength of the button. Then I can now call my border color. So the border color, what I'm going to give this now, I'm making it something like a grayish color. So let's use RGB 96 96 96. So it's a grayish what? It's a grayish color that this thing is now what is now having. The border radius seems to be too much. So let me just give it something like 4 pixels. Alright, so that it will not be too obvious. Now if this is, you can also increase the width if you like, the width of your item. Let's say I gave it a width of 50 pixels. Oh, that is too small. Let's say 200 pixels. Alright, this is not bad. So this is what we have presently. Okay, All right, now for this button, now I can decide to also style this button. I can decide to also style this button that I have here.
Sorry, border radius have changed back.
Huh?
Border radius is no longer on 4.
Is it log on 4? I think I remove it, Abby. It seems I remove it. Border radius, border border radius. It's yeah. This is where I have the problem. 4 pixels. Okay, so this button that I have here, I want to do some styling on it. Um, let's use inline styling for this since we've started using inline styling there. So the background color, I am making it to be transparent. If I make it transparent, will it make sense? No, let me not make it sorry. Let me say the background color. I'm gonna give it uh, RGB. It's green, oh, but it's gonna be blue, but it's gonna be a lighter shade of blue. 200. So uh, I'm putting border color. This is gonna be background color. So the text color, let's give the text color to be white. Text color to be what? To be white. Then the border, let's set the border to be none. Set the border to be none. Then let's give it our padding. We said instead of it to be calling padding left, padding right, just call your padding, and you can make it something like 5 pixels. Let's see what this one will produce, which is not bad. So for you to have a curve like button, you can set your border radius. But I want this button to appear at the center. I should be calling something like what should come to your mind should be something like a test align. What do I have? Test align is already showing the items on the center, which is very, very okay. So for me to just achieve that, I will just use uh, margin left. I'll call margin left. I'll just push it to the what? To the left a bit. I'll call my margin what? My margin left. So margin left, let's say I gave it something like 20 pixels. Let me see what I'm going to have. Okay, it's not okay. Let's say 30 pixels. Yeah, this is okay. This is actually okay. Yeah, this is actually okay. So this is just a simple form that we have created. Now if you look at some people's code, what they do to their form, probably you can take that as your practice. When you want to practice, you can style your form directly. Okay, I can come here and give this form a class. Sorry, let's use ID. Okay, I can style here and give this one an ID of form. So look at it now. If I go into here, promise I have to call hashtag, right? Then I'll call my what? My form. Curly brace
Yeah, yeah,
come here. So what I'm going to pass here, let's say the background color I want to give my form, or let's say I want to have a border around my form. You call your border style, you turn it to what? To solid. So you can have a border around form. So the border style presently is turned to solid, so that at least you'll be seeing what we are doing. So you can also turn the border color, or you get a border radius for your form. So if I set the border radius to be something like 50 pixels, you know that 50 pixels will give you a curve like form. Then since my border style is solid, I can say my border width, because it's too thick, I can say my border width should be what? 1 pixels. All right, border width should be what? 1 pixels. You can see it's now kind of what? Lighter. So some people will went further and change the background color of their form to be background color. Some people will make it transparent. So look at it. If I make my background color to be transparent for this form, so that you see the difference. So this form now, the background color is transparent. Let's now assume that this my body, I gave it a certain background. I gave this one a style. Then I gave this body a background color of let's say this. Are you seeing it now? Because the background color of the form is what is transparent. That's why it's taking it on the form. So the background color of the form is transparent. That's why it's taking it on the what on the form. Some people will go and do this. Somebody like me now, I'm a full stack person. Okay, sometimes I may be building an application for a login system or for a validation system. I just want them to see some beautification. I will just go straight and do something like this. Please, any questions so far? I'm giving room for question, please.
For me, my question is that I want you to change it to background image so that I can see the display.
The background image.
Yeah. So you can just change it to background image.
All right, the font will still be on top of the image. So let me come here. So you want to put image on the background. So what you will do here is you call a background what image. I think I have an image I can display here like this. What kind of image can I display? Oh, let me display for practice. So let me just display this thumbnail one. Abby, let me display this one.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to call inside here. I'm going to call background what image. Background image goes with your URL. So I have something like this. I'm going inside that image. I hope I'm good like this. Images, channel, this. So if I save it, it's still going to appear there. Are you there?
Okay.
So because the form now is transparent. Now this is different for the question you asked me previously. Oh. If this is what you want to do, you get your effects. Okay, but it's,
Okay.
it's, it's quite different from what you asked me. If this one now, if you pass anything here on this particular background on the body, this is what I mean. If you pass anything on the body, it will be showing on this particular image. Do you understand? To be showing on this part, because if you look at where I pass this style here, I pass it inside the words, inside the body word element. Are you seeing it? This is the body element open, and this is the body element word close. That's why everything is inside. Is
Okay.
it okay?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So I'm taking it back to my previous thing. All right. So the next thing I'm going to come now, we are going to look at table. We are going to also look at table. So let me collapse. Let me collapse. Where am I collapsing from? All right. So that's how we have forms. Let's also look at table h3 html. So why is this thing showing inside the form? I don't want it to appear inside the form. This is my form open, right? My form open from here. Where did my form close? My form close here. So where did I pass in that border style? I hope I pass it in the form. Style of solid. Yes, so did I pass anything on the body? I didn't pass anything now. Oh, this div. Better. So now I'm looking at the style, text align. Let's give it center. So it's appearing at the what? At the center. It's appearing at the center. So text decoration on the line. So if you are creating a table in HTML, the first thing you need to pass is your table words, your table elements. Just like we said, you must have your open tag and your close tag. You have your table open and the table word close. For those of us that study that watch YouTube videos a lot on the front end, some people they will after your table is the table head. Some people they use to spell it completely. They will call it table head and stuff like that. That is when you are doing Bootstrap. Okay, so if you are not using Bootstrap and you are building your application by yourself from scratch, you are doing your styling by yourself from scratch, it means what you need to bring in, you have to get your table row. All right, every table must have a what? Must have a row, and what is on top is what you call a row. So that first item you want to display there is called the table what? Let's say I want to get name as the head. There's something else to, I'm getting name. Let's say address. There, let's say I have email. Email. There, this one, let's say I have something like dates here. Something like dates here. So you can see that the item that I'm passing, that I'm typing this in this place right now, is what? Is bold. So if you want to style, you can style your table directly. You can call your style. You can call your style. You can call your text align. Your table will appear at the center of your site. All right, style is supposed to appear at the center of your site, but it's not moving. If it's not moving like that, you cut your style away. All right, you cut this style away from it. You put it inside a what? A container. You put it inside a container. You can pass inside a div. So this div, this thing, this table open and this table close should be what? Should be inside your div. So what you have to have here now is you get your what? Your style. So text align center, your item should be at the what? At the center. So you may not observe it now. Possibly, let's see what's going on there. Text align center. My table is not going to the center yet. So what could be wrong with my code? Alright, the table is not actually a text. That's why I tell you that it cannot be at the center of the page. Let's use the justify contents and passing center there, if that one will work for us. So justify content is not still working for that. Let me just leave that. I'll come back to that. Then this is for a particular row. If you notice that there is no border around it, so this people, they gave you an attribute. You can call an attribute called border. So you can set your border to be anything you want to pass there as your border. Let's say if I say the border should be 1 pesos, that may to be 1 pesos word tick. All right, 1 pesos word tick. You can make it something like 10 pesos as you may like, or 5 pesos as you may like. So the more value you put there, the more tick your border will be like. But we don't normally, it's not always something that will be what too obvious. Okay, I can even give it 0 safe, so that's something that will be too obvious. It's like 1 is too much. Okay, so now whatever is inside my table, is what we call the table data. And table data, we also call the table row. You must also call your table row. So td, let's say td for name, let's say Emmanuel. So this one will be for address, this one will be for email, this one will be for password. So I have for address 23 Adebayo. Then for email, you can pass your email address e@gmail.com. then the other, which is date, let me just use any kind of date, 01/02/2020 So what I'm saying in essence is this is your table data. If I replicate this table data, you see something. Are you seeing it? So this is my words, this is my table item. All right, but this is the head. Okay, you can create this kind of thing with your HTML. Let's go back to why is it not coming to the center. Why is not coming to the center is inside a div, right? Is inside a div. Justify content center is not working for me. Text align center was not also working. What if I called align items, align content center? All right, let's say align items. So if all of this does not work, I'll just use margin to drag it out. So why are they not working? Okay, so since it's not working here, let's see if I pass it inside the table row. If I pass it inside the table row, I think it should work, because the table row is what is responsible for what I want to achieve. Pass inside the table row, test item center, so it's not still working, so I will just move it. I'll use margin to move it out. So I'll come inside here. Yeah, can do it from here. I just call my margin my margin left. I'll set to be something like 200 pesos. This one, it will be forced to move out. Let's give it 50 pixels. So this is, so if I want to move it more, I will just use that one to move it, to make it display at the center. So you can change the color of the item inside your table. It's just for you to, you can call your style here and just say color. Let's say I want the color to be white. I'll just pass white there, so everything I have inside the table will be turned to white. Now another thing you need to understand is this. Presently this table is not flexible. Flexibility of a table simply means you have access to a scroller where you take it to a shorter device. You can scroll through like all those small phones. Your item should give you a scroll bar. Okay, let's assume now. Let's just please. I'm just assuming something here. Let's assume I have dates. So what do you discover here now? I have a scroller. Abi? I can see other dates. I'll remove it. I can see other dates. Now, what if there was no scroller? So, what you normally do for your button, for your table to be flexible, you have to call the width property. So, you can call the width property here and set that width property to be 100%. Set the width property to be 100%. So when you set the width property to be 100%, whatever device that you are putting your application, your table will see what will still work out fine, even when it's longer than the expected width. Please, is that understood? Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. So lastly, I want to talk about a moving object. A moving object, which is also the you can get it from your HTML. It is actually an element called marquee. Okay, it's an element called what? Marquee. Let's say for example now I want to have a moving object on top of this my other HTML tag. Where did I start writing this code? This code started from where? From here, Abi. So I want to have a moving object here. There's an element in HTML that is called marquee. So marquee, I hope you are not going to be confused with this. So I just brought this one now here now. So marquee allow you to get a text that can move. Welcome to our shop. So welcome to our shop. You notice that when I pass in that mark with there is coming from what? From the left, sorry, from the right to the what? To the left. You can change your direction. So if I say direction should be right, so you notice that that's the default right arrow I GHT abi GHT. So that's the default. You see, it's coming from the right towards the what? The left. You can change your direction. So another thing, another attribute that comes with this is this called behavior. uh if you want your behavior to hit the wall of the other side and come back without leaving your browser, because presently it's leaving the browser, you set the value inside the attribute to be what? To be alternate. I will save it. So immediately it get to that particular dimension, it will bounce back to the other what? To the other side. That is the value of behavior alternate. So please, any questions so far?
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Concerning this market, there is one that if you are eating, will be typing something and cleaning it, typing, cleaning it, typing, cleaning it. I think
That
this
one
market
is
is
JavaScript. It's not HTML.
okay. Okay. Okay, type and clean, type and clean.
It's JavaScript. Any other question? All right. In the absence of no other question, I'm ending this class here so that I'll give room for questions. Somebody was saying something before we start our class. Is it not Shane Abi? Shane, please, can you say what you were saying?
Yes, I wanted to ask you a question.
All right, I'm with you now.
Let me share it really quickly.
All right, please let me stop sharing before you. All right.
I don't know if okay, so I made a website and I was trying to make it so when you click this, it would go to like Gmail and you can like email them or something. But it wasn't working. Let me show you the code. This is the code. I don't know what I did wrong.
Sorry. Mm, Where's your code?
Can you see it?
All right. You said a class of link href mail to uh that's the Gmail account, Abby. Href
Yeah,
mail to Gmail account dot mail to your name is slash shangjabi at gmail.com.
yeah.
So please, you have to remove this thing that you have here.
Which
That
part?
place, that question mark that you're having there, please remove it. This one, everything you're having
This?
after .com, remove them. .com, you have removed .com. Oh.
Like that?
Yes, that should work for you.
I mean, check it. It still doesn't work.
So what's it showing you?
It's like when I let me share the whole window.
Is this mail to that I'm seeing there? That spelling, how did you
Yeah,
spell that mail to? Is it Mailto
Mailto. Yes, sir.
column Abi
Yeah,
column your name at gmail.com? This your code is correct. Oh. So what could be the issue? Maybe something is overwriting this. Please hold on here. Go back to the browser. Let me see. Show me your browser. Is this your browser?
yeah.
Go click on it. Let's see. Are you the system is on the internet now?
Yeah, it's on the internet.
All right. Come back. Go back to your code. Passing an attribute there called target. After the closing of .com, the quotes.
I should remove the
No, leave it.
quotes.
No, don't remove it. Space,
Uh,
space, target. Pass an attribute called target. All right. Click on it. Yeah. Press underscore blank, underscore blank, blank, blank. The first one.
oh,
All right. Try it again. Save it and try it again. So you
all
can
right. So the link like pops out, but it just goes to an about blank page.
yes. It's going to what?
It's just going to an about blank page.
That email does it really exist?
It does.
Is a Gmail account, Abby?
Yeah, it's a Gmail account.
go back
That
to
might be the issue.
go back to your code. This code only work on devices, mobile devices. Are you getting it? This only work on
Yeah.
mobile devices. If it's a mobile device and you click on it, to open the Gmail application.
Oh,
Yeah. But if you want to go to your Gmail on on your laptop, just use their URL: https colon colon then forward slash, then you go to gmail.com to open it for you. Do you understand?
okay.
This code that you're typing here only work for mobile
Mobile.
devices, not uh, desktop application, because that code is actually correct. Please, any other question?
Okay. No.
Any other question from any one of us here? Also, in the absence of no other question, thank you very much for your time. I'm dropping the source code and everything on the WhatsApp platform. So let's have a nice day. Crespin, hope you
Sir,
are good.
wait, sir. Sorry, I was talking, but my mic was off. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, I'm with you.
Let me quickly share my screen. I want you to put me through something. This this container, this particular container with picture
Mm,
beneath it.
mm,
Yes, this container.
mm.
I don't know. They passed in a container. They put background image for the container.
Yes,
So how did they achieve it? Okay,
they
thank you.
pass in
That is
the
just what I
they
was
pass it,
saying.
then they put background image for the container from the style.
Okay, then I added the max width. I mean height and height.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Then if you want this text to appear, this text will be on top of the image. You have to set the container to a position relative. This thing should be
Yes,
a
sir. Yes, sir.
position what? Absolute.
Application absolute. Yes,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.